Hello, Judy here from Thistledew Creations. Thanks for joining me. Welcome back if you're returning. Today I want to talk about Temu again. I do like Temu. I buy a lot of craft supplies on Temu. I've even had luck with clothing on Temu. This top I bought, I'm a large girl. I wear usually about a 2X. But I spent good money on this shirt from them that was lacy because I thought I could wear it over top of a tank top. And it doesn't even come to my belly button. It's so short. And you just don't, it didn't show as a short top in the picture. It was like down to the lady's hips on the picture. And so, it's only top to bottom from the, I just can't believe that they sent this. Get my larger ruler here. It's only 18 inches from the shoulder to the bottom of it. So I emailed them or responded right away when I received it that it was way too short, and they gave me my money back for it. So I thought I would cut it up into little doilies so it's not a total loss. I don't think you'd want to buy it for this purpose because it is kind of pricey. I think it was over $20, so I wouldn't spend $20 on this at a thrift store. I bought it to wear it, but it just didn't work out because of the sizing that they did. I don't know why, but so I'm going to cut it up. This is what I do with a lot of tablecloths and stuff. I'll just cut it up into smaller pieces so that I'll use it in my journals. I'm going to use these tiny little funky scissors that I also got from Temu. They're really good if something isn't right. They do give you credit, or sometimes I've received half credit on things, but you don't usually have to send them back because they have to pay for the shipping if it has to go back. So they don't, especially on lower priced items, they don't ask you to do that. I'm very honest, and they can see from my history that I don't do this all the time, and I wouldn't encourage you to do it all the time. So I'm going to cut this edging off to use separately. And I usually leave, actually I'm going to leave those flowers, but I could leave these little bits here. They can always be cut off later if you want it tidier. So just a snipping. You can do this in front of the TV easily. And then at the end of it, I'll have a bunch of edging and a bunch of crocheted flowers. They're not hand crocheted. I think this is made by machine. I'm getting to a spot that feels a little different here. Yeah, it's going around a corner here. It'd be easier if I lay it out like this. You can see what I'm doing. And then here we're to the end. Yeah, we're to the end of that piece. That's why it feels different. So I've got myself a piece of about 8 inches of like a crocheted scalloped edging with some wispy bits if I need them. And then we're into this, which is a series of flowers and a series of fans and a series of bells and then some scallops. So I will cut this all up into different things. Be much more likely to use it. Share it in Happy Mail. Add it into my doily drawer. So there's 2 flowers. And then this I will probably keep as well. This is a good thing for a cluster. You can have those little bits hanging down underneath a picture of something above. So as silly as that seems, there's a little snippet box of fabric and ribbons and lace in front of me. I have like a 3-drawer unit that sits right in front of me that has my little tiny bits of fabric, ribbon, and lace. These flowers won't go in there, they'll go in the doily drawer. They're not exactly doilies, but they're very similar to what I cut out of doilies. And the fan is a nice vintage, old-fashioned shape. So these will be fun to use. Of course, you can use them and put like a flower at the top of each stem there too and make a little flower bush. And then these bells, great for Christmas. And then these scallops kind of have like a little loop at the bottom there. And these little dots are cute as well. That's just a neat thing to include in a cluster, those little dots there. So I'll keep those as well. I don't see much of this going in the garbage. It'll all be used. And I told a girl at work about it, and she wears a lot of this type of thing, and I thought it might work for her, but the more I look at, you couldn't even alter it. It's too wide and too short to be useful. If I thought I could use it to make myself a top, I would, but I get more use out of it this way, to be frank. Those little ones with the balls would be good for little snowballs as well. Little bits. So does anybody else harvest clothing for craft supplies? I find it a good way to... I used to send bags of clothing, just send them to the thrift store. Now I go through them again from a crafter's mind perspective before I do that. I've saved a few things. Because now when I go to thrift stores, I don't get as much clothing at thrift stores as I used to, because I buy more inexpensive clothing from Temu or Giant Tiger. I don't shop at the malls ever. But when I'm at the thrift store, I always go down the clothing sections looking for good fabrics and laces. So if you can get like a lace dress for under $5, that's going to give you a lot of components to use. I'm finding that the prices on clothing at the thrift store is gone up quite a bit. And the quality hasn't. So it's not as easy as it used to be to find good stuff, but you do still find it. So I think I'm going to leave these scallops and dots together for now, because they can go onto a spool and store pretty easily. This spool or a card or something like that. Something like this, you know, it takes time, but it's kind of relaxing. Usually I would be watching a video while I do this. It's a great way to, watching a video on YouTube or on TV. I don't watch much TV when I'm home alone. I feel like that's something the hubby and I can do together, which doesn't really sound like an exciting thing to do together, but we usually watch shows together, so I wouldn't want to watch without him. I could watch one of my girl shows that he doesn't care about. Rewatch Outlander till the cows come home, but today I'm just doing it with you. So I often cut old sheets or pillowcases that have vintage patterns on them. I will cut those into strips. I watch for dresses that are long that have really nice patterns in either cotton or rayon or sari silk. You don't get a lot of saris where I live. There's just starting to be people of different ethnicities in our community in the last decade or so. So you're starting to see little bits, but not like when you go to Toronto or Ottawa and go thrift shopping and you see, you know, an 8-foot section of saris. It's not like that here yet. Eventually, maybe, once the people that have moved here start donating stuff. So that is a nice trim. I will definitely use that. It's got really nice texture with these little, almost like pom-poms in it. So that'll be nice. So that's 2 different trims, like yardage kind of thing. And then a bunch of different shapes. Get the rest of these flowers first. And even with the flowers, if you make a mistake and cut in the wrong spot and cut a flower in half, it doesn't really matter because you can use half a flower in a cluster or collage. Sometimes you're layering it anyway underneath something, so you can just have it disappear underneath something. Getting quite a few of those flowers and quite a few of these little triangular, reminds me of a bouquet of flowers or a fan. Spider web. It's a little thick for spider web. But I could see doing some cute little bouquets with them. That might be my next video. You never know. I might just turn off from making this video and jump right into it. While the idea is still in my head. And then the bells, I will put some of those in my Christmas stash. I'm not ready to start doing Christmas stuff yet, but it won't be long because I have to get ahead of it. If I don't want to spend every spare moment in December doing Christmas crafts, then I need to do them beforehand so that I have videos for December. So I could maybe start in October. I got to start doing Halloween stuff before I do Christmas stuff. So I do like doing both. I like Halloween better, actually, doing Halloween projects. Had a lot of fun with it last year. Even when I was doing jewelry, I had a lot of fun with Halloween projects. Halloween earrings mostly, and some necklaces and stuff. Let's see. That's almost the entire front, so let's finish off the front here. What's our time like? 14 minutes. Okay, I think we have time to finish the front. I might not do the back. It'll be very similar. But we're getting into some different areas here on the top part of the bodice, I guess it would be. These flowers are a little different. And then we've got other kind of more doily looking things. So the thing is to just sort of see them and figure out where to snip to get them out of there. So I could have just taken the center flower, but I'm taking the other little ones around it. And I might store it this way. I don't usually use pieces that large, but I could also take like 5 of these and cut little flowers. So 5 petals is what I'm saying, what I mean to say. Like here, 1, 2, 3, 4 snips. And those little flowers. So, you know, a little bit of pink ink on the tips of them and some yellow ink in the center, and it's a gorgeous little daisy. Embellishment. Let's cut off some of these other little bits that draw your eye away from the flower shape. So those are fun. And I found that in general, these things don't unravel. This one may be more prone to it because it hasn't been washed. It's brand new. But usually when I get crochet doilies, like hand crochet doilies, they've been through somebody's wash. Sometimes it's not mine. Sometimes I just buy them and you can tell whether they need to be washed by just how they smell and feel. But generally, I find the stuff at our thrift stores is very clean. I know if I'm going to donate something, I wash it. Even if it was clean in the drawer that I took it out of, I still wash it before I donate it, just so it's fresh. I think most people do that. I think that the people at the sorting at the thrift store would probably not put something out if it was awful. So I was going to leave that together, but these I think I would be more inclined to use separately anyway, so that's why I'm taking it off. And I could leave a few of them attached, because sometimes that's cute on a pocket, is like 3 little flowers together. I know you can just put them together, glue 3 together, but I often do that. I'll leave some of the things attached and some separate. And then if I ever want these ones to be separate, it's only a couple more snips, but I got 3 flowers there together. So there's another new flower. I don't think there's as many of those, but there are some. And then let's get this edging off. Just trying to decide. I don't think I left much attached to this edging before. Maybe left some of these little nibs. This one is neat with the flower in the middle of what looks like a spider web. There's some more of that. And this is just kind of general wispy, lacy looking stuff. I might just leave that together. Actually, there's a couple more of those flowers there. Sometimes you have to look and then look again to see the shapes. So that's kind of random, but that'll go well in a cluster. So I'm just going to put that up with that random stuff. And then this one I will leave those flowers attached. for one thing, it will kind of remind me where it came from when I see it in my doily drawer. There's another random bit. And I really like this little, it looks kind of like a spider web, and these little starbursts almost look like little flowers too. I'm going to try to keep that as a circle. It's actually a little bit oblong on this side. That's okay. Just a very interesting little piece. And then this flower, it's a little wonky, but I think it's nice. So I'm going to keep that as it is. So you can see you get different designs coming out of it. And snippets. Now some more edging. So if anyone else has had this same thing on Temu, mention it in the comments or tell us your good experiences with Temu clothing. I have found their sizing to be much better than AliExpress or Wish ever was. With those companies, you know, you could buy their largest size, a 7X, and it wouldn't be any bigger than an extra large. It was terrible. And I kept reading the, you know, the size charts and thinking, well, maybe this time it'll be different. And every time it was the same old thing, just nothing fit. And Temu seems to be better. I even ordered some dresses and they were good size. But this was way off. So there's like a circle that's got a hole in the middle. I'm going to leave that hole. So that's the same as that one. And here I see this little starburst. Could be a spider web too. For Halloween ATC with a spider in the middle. There's another piece of that. Just cut these weird spots off of it and leave it as a semicircle. There's more of that. This has been, oh, probably 2 months waiting to be cut up. First it was because I was going to take it to work and see if my girlfriend at work wanted it, but I really don't think she would be able to use it. So today's its day. It gets to be made into something useful. And this little seam with a bit of crochet attached will be good on the edge of a pocket. I guess that's the same as that one, just cut more off of it. And there's another little piece of the seam. I just like the texture sometimes you get out of a piece of seam. So I often save them. Another one of those. Another little random bit. Doesn't look like much. It's nice to have them in neat little piles, already ready to go. And because these are nice off-white, I could easily pull a few out when I'm doing a little dyeing session or something, and or inking, ink smooshing or something like that, and add some color to them. That would be fun. Okay, so there's my, just the front or the back. It's hard to tell which was which. I'll get the same amount out of the other side. So I'll do that off camera. I won't make you watch the whole thing. You probably aren't anyway. Yeah, so if you haven't done that, give it a try. Look for some lacy clothing in your closet that you don't wear anymore. Maybe it's an old bridesmaid's dress that was covered in lace or something. You can get those lace pieces and use them. And even if you have a bridesmaid's dress, if it's silk or satin, you can rip it into strips and use those strips. You can use it to make covers, all sorts of things. So have fun with that. I hope I've inspired you to cut something up today. So like, comment, share, and subscribe. Most of all, have a great day and happy crafting.